For today's tutorial, we're going to look at how we can use the DIFM website to create an on-farm research trial using two inputs. In the previous videos, we focused on one input, but today we're going to work on two inputs. So we're first going to navigate to the DIFM website, going to DIFM.farm, and then we're going to make sure we are logged in. Once we're logged in, we're going to go to the Farmers and Advisors tab, click on Farms, and if we have a farm we're already wanting to work with, we can go ahead and work with that. If not, we can go ahead and scroll down here, click Add Farm. We can enter the address of that farm, find it on the map, enter the latitude and longitude. We're not going to worry about that for this one specifically, but we're just going to put the seed and end test farm. Click Save. Go back to the Farms tab, and then it's going to be right here. We just started it, so then we're going to click on Fields. Here we can either draw the field or upload it. We're going to go ahead and upload a field because we have the boundary file already downloaded from the monitor. So we're going to open our file. We're going to find our boundary file for this field, and we're going to drag and drop it into here. And we're going to name this the seed rate and test. You could of course just name this whatever field name it is on your farm. Click Upload, and then we're going to upload it. We're going to see that farm, those boundary files show up on our screen, and then from here we can go over and we can click on Trials. Once we've clicked on Trials, we can then go to Add Trial for this field. If you're using this field for multiple years, you can of course add trials to that field as you go. So we're going to add trials. This is going to be our seed rate and end test. It's going to be for corn, and we're going to mark this as a test trial. Click Save. Now that we've gone back to the trials page, we can click on the trial we want to work with and click on Configure, the green icon here. And the first thing we need to do is add an AB line. So we're going to click there. We can add it just in other ways we've talked about, using a lat and long and heading from the monitor, starting endpoints for the lat and long, or upload a shape file. We have the shape file for this from the monitor, so we can go ahead and click Upload. I'm going to open our file. We have our AB line right here. I'm going to drag and drop it. We're going to just call this the seed and rate AB line. The exact name is important as long as you remember it. So once we've added AB line, we can scroll down further and we can go to Trial Configuration. Here our units are going to be feet. Our harvester for this example is 30 feet. The headland distance is 120 feet. The sideland distance is 60 feet. The input plot minimum and maximum length, we're just going to leave at 2 to 300. This can be changed. We're going to click Done. Then we're going to scroll down. We have the trial configuration. We can see the things that we just added right here. And now we can go ahead and add inputs. So our first input, we're going to do the nitrogen. So we have our year, our crop. So our first input category is going to be nitrogen. And we're going to use a UAN 28. And this is going to be in gallons per acre. So we have harvester width is 30. We need to add a machine for this field and farm. So we're going to click the plus. This is going to be our N applicator. The width is 60. The sections is 1. The unit is feet. Sections is 1. It has a variable rate, doesn't have multiple sections in it. And then this is going to be an applicator, not a harvester. So then we're going to click Save. Once we have that, we're going to go ahead and scroll down, and now that we've added the machine, we can click an applicator. It'll automatically input the width and the sections. Trial information is already input from previous. As always, you can do a checkerboard or a strip trial. So the input plot width on this one is 60 feet because that's the distance of our nitrogen applicator. And our planter is smaller than that. So the number of rates we're going to do 6. The normal rate is going to be 28 gallons. Our minimum rate, based on the equipment that we have, is 12. And our maximum we're going up to is 43. As far as the exact rates, it depends on what your equipment can do and also what ranges of rates you're interested in. The AB line, we're going to use the seed N rate AB line. And then we're going to click Done. And then we're going to scroll back down. So we have our first input right here is our seed N rate, is our N rate, and we now need to add another input for our seeding rate. So we're going to add input. So again, same field. For this time, we're going to click our seed, click a category here, and we want to do seed. The input item is going to be corn seed. The units are going to be seeds with thousands per acre. And this just depends on the format. If you do this one, you're going to put 34 in the units instead of 34,000. This one, you put 34,000 instead of 34. But this is what the monitor in our piece of equipment needs. So seeds with thousands per acre. Acre is our unit. Machinery width, we have this there. And now we need to input our N applicator already, but now, which you can see there, we need to input a planter here. So we have our planter. Our planter is 50 feet wide. The planter has 24 sections. And it's going to be an applicator, so we're going to click Save. Scroll back down. We're going to select the planter. It's going to input these things right here. So we notice already that our input for our planter is 50. We know our N applicator is 60. But the great thing about this planter is it can variable rate. So within that 50-foot area, if it's one seeding rate, it can do it. If it's half in one seeding rate or half in another, it can then use the sections for each opener to vary that rate so the right rate gets correctly done. So our headland and sideland distance is the same. Design is our checkerboard. Input plot width. For this is going to be 50. Our number of rates is going to be 6. The normal input rate is going to be 35,000 seeds. The minimum that we're going to put in is 28,000, and we're going to go up to 40,000. And the AB line is going to use that same seed N rate AB line. And click Done. So then we're going to scroll down here. So we have both of these input now. We have our corn seed and our UAN inputs. We could add more. So now once we have that, if we just want to do one of these in the end, we can just click that, click Create, but we want to look at both. So both the seeding rate and the N rate, and click Create. Just going to go ahead and create that trial. So once it's done processing, you can go ahead and scroll down further, and we can see we have our corn seed and our UAN design. We can now open this, and we can see these two side by sides. We can see the seeding rate targets. You can see the green area around the outside is the buffer. That'll just use the target N rate or the default. As normal, you can see the different seeding rates going through the field. And then on this trial, you can see the different UAN rates that will be used. There, we can go back, scroll back down. We can look at the report. Now in this report, it's going to show us, it's going to go through the same things we've seen in the other ones. It's going to tell you how many plots, what rates for UAN, what rates for seeding. Total UAN you'll need is 2,089 gallons. Now if we look at this down here, we can see these are the number of replicates. This is the target rate for the seeding, the target rate for, this is the target rate for the N applicator, target rate for the planter, the seeding rates. This is an important part too. These are the AB lines that you'll need to use. They may be different than the ones you input. These are ones that will line up your UAN applicator and your combine and everything else. So this is your AB line for the UAN 28 that needs to be used. This is the one for your seeding rate. And this is the one for the harvester, so it stays within those field boundaries the best possible. This just goes through and shows you some quick illustrations of the border area and the trial area. We have just kind of an example. You can see the planter AB line is a little bit different than the applicator AB line. That's because we have a 50-foot planter and a 60-foot applicator. But those are the best ways there. And then we can kind of look at this with the harvester. So the harvester is on 30 foot, so you can see within the applicator area, it can do that whole area. The planter is going to be a part of a pass here and then part of a second pass, which is why the variable rate works here for the different planters. So once we have, that's the trial, that's what we want to do, and we go ahead and click back and scroll down. And we can also, right here, this important part is we can click on download and then look up here to our downloads, open this file. This is the trial design. It's zipped right now, but if we unzip this, we can look at the files here. These are the AB lines for the applicator, for the harvester, for the planter. And then we have the trial design, all the shape files and other things that you'll need. Because right now it's not set for any specific controller, it's just generic, so this will need to be taken and put into an ArcGIS, SMS, or sent to DIFM, and you'll tell them what type of controller you have for each of the different pieces of equipment, and they will get that to the right file formatting and send it back to you to help you get that into the controller with the things that you need. But these are the files that you'll need to get all of that done. So once we can click on this, we can click Final. Say yes, we want to finalize the design. So once that's done, we can go to Farmers and Advisors, click on Trials, and scroll down to where we can see the seed and end rate test. We can click on Manage, and this will just give us a quick synopsis of the trial itself. Total amount of seed and UAN is 2,670 seeds, 1,000, and then 2,089 gallons in order to complete this trial. You can see the target rates for the seed, target rates for the UAN, the replicates, and now here is where we're going to start inputting the yield files, the as applied data from the planter, as applied data from the nitrogen applicator. So when we, at the end of the season, when we get the information we need, we're just going to click over here, go to Upload. We're going to take our files that we downloaded. We're going to find our raw yield. That's what we're starting with. We're going to drag and drop that here. It will process that. Then you can click Upload. And once we've seen it upload here. If you need to redo it because you did the wrong one, you can obviously trash it and then upload the next one. So next we're going to do is the corn seeding rate, as applied data. So again, we're going to open our file where we have all of our data from the applicators. So this is as applied, this is the corn seed. So we take our raw as applied seed, drop it in here, click Upload. Go back to the previous page, we're going to scroll down. Now we're going to do the UAN as applied data, so we're going to open that again. So this is our raw as applied UAN. Click Upload. Once that's done, you can go scroll back down, and now we see these, all three of them say Define Features. And what this does is we've input a file, but now we need to make sure the software understands what headings are used in that file with what headings are used in the software. So now we're going to start with our raw yield. And here, these are the column names that are in the software, and now we need to line it up with what's in the uploaded files. So our elevation was found. Sometimes they're found, sometimes we have to go scroll through and find them. But this unit for this one is feet in this example. Distance is also feet. This is our yield volume, and we're doing corn, so this is bushels per acre. Our offset we don't use in this example, so I'm just going to scroll it up. Sometimes when you're scrolling in this program, you need to make your screen not as zoomed in to get to some aspects. So now we've made that smaller. We're going to zoom back in just so we can see this easier for the example. So time is time. Angle we're going to leave blank. Yield masty, you can leave that there or not. We measure corn and volume, so I'm not necessarily going to worry about that, but this units for this one would be pounds per acre. The width is this swath width. Unit is feet. Speed is miles per hour. And then from there we're going to hit submit. So then we're going to scroll back down. We're going to do the same thing. This is our as applied for our corn data. So this is our corn seeding rate. So this is our section ID. That's correct. Distance is distance. That's feet. Offset we're going to leave blank. Time is time. Angle is heading. Swath width is correct. Units is feet. Speed is vehicle SPE, that's in miles per hour. Input rate is applied rate, it found it correctly. And this one is in seeds thousands per acre. And then we're going to click submit. Once it's done renaming and processing the file, we can scroll down. Now we can see that we've defined the features. Or now we've defined, you can see that, scroll over here, and we have the raw yield is ready, the as applied corn seed is ready. Now we need to do the UAN. So we're going to click on Define Features. Section ID if found correct, distance is feet. Offset we're not going to worry about, time is time. Angle is heading, swath width is in feet. Speed is vehicle SPE, and that's in miles per hour. Our input rate is our applied rate. This one is this is our UAN, so we are in gallons per acre. Then we're going to click submit. That's going to rename the columns and process the file. Once that is complete, we can look over here and we can see that all three of these are ready and they've been defined. So the next part we need to do is look at our prices. So for our raw yield price, we're just going to use a generic $4 per bushel for corn, or for our corn. Profit, our corn seed is going to be $3.50. This is per 1,000 seeds. And then our UAN is $2.50 per gallon. So once we have that in, we can go ahead and click Process Data. It's going to ask us if that's okay. It's going to take a little bit of time. So right now you can see down here this is processing, and it may take a few minutes to do so. Alright, it looks like our processing data had some issues, so I need to figure them out, and then we'll do a separate video on how to, what this data looks like once it's been processed and what results look like for when we do 2 inputs instead of just 1. So thanks for watching this one, and I'll work on our little issue here and get another video posted as soon as I can.